It's live.
See it.
You can see my happy place, right? Let's take a moment and just enjoy the happy place. All right. So the purpose, like we talked about on Tuesday of this call, is to make sure that everybody's got PopFlow installed, licensed, and ready for the training class next week. So I'm going to kind of approach this once in kind of a stepped fashion. Once you've gotten everything up and running, once PopFlow is up and running, you can literally bail from the call. There's no point in staying on. We're just going to get deeper and deeper into troubleshooting whatever went wrong. The troubleshooting kind of stuff we're actually going to cover in training as well. So don't feel like you're going to miss anything today if you don't want to hang out. If you do, you're welcome to stay, right? But if you've got other pressing things that you need to do, once we get you up and running, feel free to bail. So let me start like this. Who is familiar with this? Can you guys see that well enough on my screen? I can zoom in a little bit there.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, I had a few, huh? All right. Who else? Nobody else got runtime errors, huh? PopFlow service. Guys, your training starts here, right? This message is pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, there's only one thing that'll cause this message to happen. Your license is broke. That's my technical terminology for it. Something is wrong with the license or the licensing process. There's just no two ways about it. Nothing else will throw this error message. So if you got this far, you're getting really close. So how many folks have not had a chance to start the deployment yet? Anybody fall into that category? And it's okay. I'm not going to scold you publicly much.
This is Rupal. I missed the last meeting, and I don't think I have done what you're referring to.
Well, Rupal, you don't count. You're okay. I won't scold you at all.
Thank you.
One time free pass only.
Okay,
No
well,
worries.
this is Christy Wood. I'm in the same boat. I missed the last meeting, and I'm getting caught up here, so I have not gotten to this yet.
Well,
So
Christy, I'm going to scold you for it. That's no excuse at all.
I know, exactly. Right?
I'm totally kidding.
Welcome to my day.
Okay, so that's all right. So I got anybody else not had a chance to install it at all? All right, cool. So Christy, Rupal, what I'll ask you guys to do, hopefully you guys got the links to the files that I sent out earlier though, yeah?
I do, yes.
Okay, were you both able to download those zip files and find the installation instructions and get the oh gosh, I can't think, the installation package, the installation and licensing bundle unzipped?
Got it.
Okay. So what I'll ask you guys to do is while I'm going to kind of multitask everybody through this process, right? So if you guys will start going through those installation instructions, by the time you get to step 6 and those licensing instructions, I'll be ready to work on you guys. Is that all right if you guys just go ahead and work?
That's
and while we're going through that, if you guys have questions or you get stuck on something, just interrupt me and I'll hit you up and keep you rolling, okay?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's good.
Okay. Rupal, you all right to do the same
Yep,
thing?
yep.
All right.
That is fine.
All right, excellent. So for the remainder of the folks who did get it installed, who can open PopFlow and see a ribbon that looks like that? Specifically, I should have new, delete, import, and export here, not just save, workflows, and mapping. This is correct. Anybody get that far?
This is Ian. I have it.
Yeah, Ian, you cheat though, man. Ian?
All the time.
You are done, my friend. If you want to bail, bail. If you want to stick around, stick around. It's up to you, sir. You're not going to miss a thing, though.
Okay, presumably I have everything. I'll see everyone next week.
Excellent. Excellent.
Right,
we'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
Anybody else want to join in? Well, I got this, so I'm going to join in, and I'll see you guys next week. No? Okay.
Well played.
Yeah, I wish. So let me ask you this. Did anybody get this far? Anybody get into PopFlow? What the heck? And have a media bar that looks, or that have a ribbon that looks like that. I can launch PopFlow, but I only see that. Nobody got that. All right, guys. So, okay, cool. So what you'll get, just so you know what I'm doing here, when your system is properly licensed for an administrator access into the studio, meaning we've licensed Designer so that you can get in and actually build screen pops, you will see the first one that I showed you, the correct, right? This guy right here, where you've got all of these ribbons, all of these buttons on your toolbar, the new, delete, import, export. If you see this, now you may not have any interaction workflows created. That's okay. We don't have to worry about that until next week. But if you're properly licensed, you'll see this. Everybody, including agents, if you turned up the add-in, the PopFlow Studio add-in on an agent profile, even though they weren't licensed, they would still be able to see this, right? They can get in and look at the workflows and the mapping, but that's it. They can't do anything else with it. So that's why I was asking. That gives me an indication. All right. So having said that, the remainder of you guys, did everybody get to a point where they're getting that? Is there anybody that did not at least get to the point where they can launch PopFlow Studio and get some kind of an error like that? Anybody left on the call? Okay.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, was that Sherry?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? All right.
This is Christy. I'm downloading right now, so.
Okay, no worries, Christy. You just keep right on plugging along.
All right.
Yeah. And this is Eduardo. I'm getting the same error as Sherry, the one you're showing on the screen.
Okay, that one right here. Everybody that's left at least getting that error message. Has everybody gotten that far? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. If not, shout them out. We're going to assume that everybody is. So having said that, I'm going to need then to kind of take you guys one at a time. And this goes pretty quickly, so don't run off, but I am going to take you one at a time and walk you through a few things. So as a group, let's double check some things just to make sure that everything is set and ready for that license. Let me get logged in, and I'm actually going to walk you through something to check on the profile that you're trying to activate. Right? First, want to make sure that the profile is set up properly. Stop. We want to make sure that your profile is set up properly, and once we do that, there's a couple of things that typically cause that error once we've generated a license. Now, obviously, if you don't have a license, you'll get that error.
Yeah, mine is actually working. I just had to like restart the console, and it works now.
Okay, cool. Who found out that my instructions, I'm going to apologize for my language and just say it, kind of suck? Nobody wants to admit that? Jarek, where are you?
Sorry,
I was on mute. I was talking.
Yeah, did you chime in there and say your instructions are kind of bunk? Hopefully.
Actually, they're 99.9% awesome.
It's that 0.1% that'll kill you 100% of the time.
Right.
So guys, there are a couple of things in there that we need to update. Jarek has already brought them to my attention, and that is we've got a restart the console instruction that's omitted, needs to be added. Once you update that license, you do need to restart your console. So if you've not done that, give it a shot. And was that Eduardo that said once I restarted, I'm okay?
Yeah, that was me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got the proper, you can get into PopFlow and you get the full ribbon, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Eduardo, if you've gone that far, you're good to go too, sir. You can hang
or
jet either way you want. You're done.
All right. I'm gonna go then. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Looking forward to it.
See you next week.
All right. Bye.
All right. And so for the rest of you guys, if you guys will just, for whatever profile you're using, you know, whatever user you're trying to log into Service Cloud with, whatever staff account you're trying to log into Service Cloud with to gain access to the designer, if you will open the profile that staff account is associated to, like for instance right now I'm logged in as on the OM Demo agent's profile with a staff account associated to that profile. If you'll pop that guy open, and let's check a couple of things real quickly. That is, first and foremost, on the Workspaces and Workflows tab, make sure that you have goodness, I got a lot of these things, the interaction workflow associated to the Open Methods interaction workflow. Do not pay attention to mine. Mine is blank. That's a unique bit of magic I've done with that thing. But you should have interaction workflow assigned here, and you should have an Open Methods PopFlow license here for the license, right? Everybody check that?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody need to hold up before I go to step 2 in this check? Okay. The next check will be on the Permissions tab that you have session authentication enabled under the Public SOAP API section. So that's on the Admin tab, under Permissions, Admin tab, Session Authentication. Got to be checked. Won't work if it's not. Everybody okay there?
I'm sorry, what needs to be checked?
Under Permissions, on the Administration tab, Session Authentication under Public SOAP API. This little dude right here. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Anybody else need a pause here? All right. The third thing to check is Custom Objects under Custom Objects. On the Open Methods item here, on the Open Methods object, that the data item and interaction workflow objects are both wide open. In other words, they all need to be checked.
Which objects are those, Mike? Say that again.
So under Permissions, on the Custom Objects tab, on the Open Methods package, the data item and interaction, I'm sorry, not data item, the interaction workflow and the license, you guys won't have a data item, that's okay, my bad. The interaction workflow and the license objects need to be wide open. In other words, all boxes ticked. Checking all the boxes.
Mine are all ticked.
Okay, perfect. So you can, if you guys made any changes to that, obviously, you know, just save and close it, and you'll need to restart your Service Cloud console once you've made those changes. Did anybody have to make any changes there?
I did,
All right, cool.
yes.
You did, okay. If you had to make any changes, save and close it and restart your console, and let's see if that corrected the issue.
Do I need to redeploy, remind me, if I just change the permissions? I do not.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You just need to restart the console. Yep.
All right.
And we'll give you a second for restart, so let us know when you get to that point, and then we'll go to the next step. I hear you talking. So while we're waiting on that restart, let me ask another question. Did anybody get any weird error messages whenever they installed, other than that license error?
Initially, it's probably just the button, the way it's set on your screen, but on step 2, I was getting, I didn't have the add-ins %DLL. I just had a compressed option. I had 2 options on my add-ins button, and my button didn't look like yours with the %DLL on the button name. But I went ahead and installed the compressed files, and then I had to unzip them, go back and unzip the files that I'd already unzipped previously. So I'm wondering if there's something in there.
I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. It should have. And was that Sherry?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry. Sorry, it's been a while since we chatted. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me ask you very specifically there. If I go to, let's see, setconfig, add in, and I went to new, like I was going to install a new one, do you have this drop down to change to a compressed add-in file?
Yes, so if I go to add-ins, I have
because the add-ins are actually zip files that aren't intended to be unzipped. They're supposed to be loaded.
Yeah, when I unzipped them, I could install the listeners and so forth. So in the add-in manager, if I click on that and I say new, I have, on that drop-down, I have add-in files and compressed add-in files. So if I select compressed add-in files, I just got the big OpenFlow pop methods zip file, and when I clicked on that without decompressing that one,
yes,
I got a message that
yes,
it had to have the DLL name.
That you can't do it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So what happens on the zip file that I sent you, that one actually has to be unzipped. You can't, you know how in Windows you can just double click on it and it'll show it like it's a directory, but it's really not unzipped. You're just browsing the contents of a compressed file basically, right? That one has to be unzipped. The individual add-ins should not be, right? But once you unzip that, it should open it up and let it roll, right? Okay. All right. So yeah, you're okay. You should be over. You should be fine.
Mike,
let me proceed after that.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
All right.
Mike,
shout it out.
The license, what do with that license? That's the one thing we haven't done so far.
All right, cool. So if I've already sent you a license, what you want to do is go into, your analytics navigation pane, go into Reports Explorer, find the Open Methods directory or wherever you installed or wherever you imported the reports to. You should have a PopFlow license search report. You're going to launch that. Initially, you're not going to have anything here, right? You can just hit search, and initially it shouldn't find anything. You're going to go to new license, and that'll bring up our licensing workspace. You're going to put PopFlow in the product name, and then you're going to copy the entire contents of that text file that I sent you that is the license and paste it into this license. Save and close it. That's it.
All right, so in the license you sent us, I don't see any reference to my email or my account or Johnny's account. I just see Ryan's account. Is that
okay? Yeah, that would be bad. Let me. That means I mucked up your license. So let me check that out. Bear with me just a sec.
Ryan's in there 3 times, so it looks like was intended for 2 more of us.
Look, I just wanted to make sure that Ryan, by goodness, was licensed. The rest of you guys, I could care less about.
You nailed it.
Hey, I'm all right with that.
What did I name your license? I don't even remember. Was it
Aventus OPN2?
Can't remember if it was OPN2 or.
There's a comment. There's a comment in here that says Ryan is 3 times as important as Johnny or I. So I think that.
Well, there you go. It is what it is. Yeah, that's interesting. What in the world? Yeah, so copy paste issue, right? That's what I get. Let me fix it. Let's see here. Actually, you know what? I need that open. Where is it? And throw that up there where you can see it. And I'll show you. You guys can watch me license stuff. It's incredibly interesting. All right. So.
Hey, Mike, as fascinating as this is Jarek, I'm going to have to drop for a meeting, but give me a shout if you need anything.
Will do. You're good to go, man.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll see you, Ron. All right, let's see. Your target site was OPN. What is it? Aventus 2, right? Putting it in the wrong place anyway. And since Ryan is so darn important, we'll make him your contact for licensing issues. And you can blame that one on Ryan, actually. He was supposed to let me know if he had problems. I didn't hear anything.
I don't remember signing up for that.
Making the contact, like, if you just want to chat or...
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we pop open these sometimes and just, you know, do courtesy calls and make sure everything's working properly and then pass it over to marketing, let them drip a bit.
If you have any complaints about Aventus, direct those to Ryan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or about anything.
Just in general. Yeah, that works. Let's see. Now, I've got your instance name correct now, though, right? It's OPN-Aventus 2. Or is it just Aventus 2?
No, that's correct. The dash is correct.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, did I get that one right? OPN-Aventus 2, looks like I did. Okay, so we got, by the way, if you guys are really paying attention, you'll, yeah?
I was going to say, Mike, does that need to be the domain or the database name?
No, actually what that is the actual interface name. So like if I, an easy way that I usually coach customers to find that, like if I go to log into it and into the instance.
Yep. So in that case,
pops up here is their instance name.
Yeah, in that case it's underscore. So PN underscore Aventus 2.
Okay, cool. That's why I asked. So
that's why he gets
that may be my problem too.
Yeah, it likely is, Sherry. That's what so these were the last two things I always have people check is the instance name, because these licenses are bound to the instance. And some of you guys, unfortunately, found out that you can't make changes to this license once I've sent it to you. If you make a change to it, it invalidates the license.
Yep.
No worky.
I found that.
Yeah. Well, you weren't the only one, Sherry. I wasn't gonna single you out. And then the other thing that we always, and sometimes we'll fat finger these things, or we'll just, you know, we'll be sent the wrong interface name. It's not something that folks are accustomed to providing us. And then other times, it is what you're seeing here, right? I've either misspelled somebody's user credentials, and by the way, these actually have to be the user credentials. So validate that too. You guys are like Ryan, for example. You're actually logging in with the @aventusg.com, right?
Yep.
Because it makes a difference. They're case sensitive and all that jazz. So if I, you know, if you ever have somebody in the future, this is kind of learning lesson number one, right? If you have folks in the future that I'm licensed, I see myself in there, but I can't get in, these are two of the most likely candidates right there. We've probably fat-fingered the license and just can't get in, you know, can't get in. Two, you guys will also notice, if you were paying attention, you've got an M. Hensley and a J. Davis in there too in your license, and I know that those accounts don't exist. We put those in there just in case during training, if for some reason we need to get in and try to get designer access to your system. If you ever created a staff account for us with those, with that login ID, we don't have to relicense the system. It's in. We can get in and we can muck around for you. So All right, let's see. Let me find the remainder of you guys' email and try to get that right. Let's see, where are you at? There's Ryan. Yeah, let's see what I did. And boy, was it dumb. I won't even share it with you.
You're in good company, I promise.
When you're in email, by the way, copy link is different than copy paste. Copy link paste is different than copy paste. How does that look? Dave, Johnny? Did I get them right now?
Those look right.
Okay, and we're going to call this one. Let's see, what was it?
Hey, how did you guess my password? Did Ryan give you that, or?
Oh yeah, he shares. Was he not supposed to? We believe in high security, by the way. All right. All right, there you go, fellers. Give that one a shot. Now again, to update a license, once I send you guys an updated license, you're just going to go back through that same process again, go into Reports Explorer, launch that PopFlow license search report, do search, open up whatever license you've got, and as a good rule of thumb, when you go into this license, you know, if you give it a Control-A to make sure you're selecting everything, delete it, and then paste the new in, just to make sure it captures properly. Once you do that, then you should be able to restart Service Cloud Console and give it another shot and see how it goes. All right, so.
And Mike, I assume that this is one of those custom objects that'll puke if you have more than one record?
Actually, it depends. If you do it properly, it won't. But it's extremely finicky to do it properly. There are some instances where you'll want to have multiple PopFlow licenses. They're really, really, really rare. And if you do it right, works like a charm. If you make one little mistake, the whole thing pukes on you and nothing works. So yes.
Noted.
Yeah. I have not yet, by the way, guys. You know, and we'll talk a little bit about what that scenario is where you might need multiple licenses. I've not yet run across it. It's actually, when I say it's rare, it's a fringe case kind of scenario kind of thing. All right. So while the Aventus crew stews on that, who wants to go next?
Me, Sherry.
All right, Sherry. Let me. Should have done you first. I had your stuff up.
So I think it's the OPN underscore proficient. Yeah.
OPN underscore. All right, ma'am. Let's get you. Let me pull up yours real quick. Dadgummit, close stuff down. Okay, clearly I can't remember what I called your other, your OPN proficient, right? Got it. And do, give me a sec to do a little copying and pasting.
Hey, Mike, if you want to multitask, you let me know because we're getting an error now. But
all right, what are you getting? Go for it.
Unable to load one or more of the requested types. Retrieve the loader exceptions property for more information. This is on login.
Hey, Mike, this is John. I got the same thing.
Same error message?
Yep.
All right. Can one of you guys...
Screenshot.
Yeah, screenshot it to me if you don't mind.
It'll be there in a second.
Thank you, sir. And this is... Hey, gummit, get out of here.
Does it matter? It doesn't matter about the case, I guess.
Yes, it absolutely does. Bear with me just a second, Sherry. I'm just getting you set up.
When I log in, it's all lowercase. Okay.
All right, here we go. So you are OPN underscore
proficient, all lowercase.
proficient.
Like,
Did I spell it right?
Spelled wrong. You spelled it right. It's like proficient spelled wrong.
So it's wrong here? This is wrong?
No, it's perfect. That's right.
Oh, okay. I got the A in there. That helps.
Bartlow's right.
311 proficient. You. All right. Let's give that one a shot. Excuse me. And
If I deleted my original license and just created a license number 2,
yeah,
that
it's
should
fine.
be okay though, right? Okay.
Yeah. All right, Sherry, coming at you. And anybody
hey,
else?
Mike, Mike, this is Christy. Can you? I'm going to need a license as well.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
And I'm getting everything installed right now, but I actually have to jump for another call.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Do me a favor, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Send me your interface name, right? And like we talked about before, that's from your login screen, right? Whatever it says here. And then send me whatever user IDs, login IDs. Yikes, what is going on with that? Whatever login IDs you want me to license for the designer.
Okay.
And you know what I mean by login ID, right? It's the Service Cloud login name. The username is what we're looking for, like this stuff right here.
Yep.
Yep. If you'll send it to me, I'll license you and shoot it over, and then you can let me know if you have any troubles out of it. We'll get you fixed up.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And Christy, this is Tom. I'm recording this webinar, so I'll make sure that I include you on the list when the people I send it to, so you'll have the remaining part of it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, bye.
All right. Anyone else? Who's next? Let's see. I'm going to start picking on people. Who's been quiet? John Pams.
Like this is, yeah, John, I, like the other guy, I had the same problem logging into my console.
Okay.
So I'm actually, I mean, you sent me the license last night, and I've yet to do step number 6.
Okay, roger that. Okay. Let me take a look at that, see if I got that error message.
The error message seems to be coming from the media bar.
Yay.
Media bar. Which media bar would that be? Who was that speaking?
This is Johnny. Yeah, it may or may not even be an open methods thing. I'm going to jump in there and take a look.
Well, guys, I will tell you this. First step in troubleshooting, but we run into into issues like that more often in the demo pods than we do in any of the production pods. But it is a good rule of thumb always to check what other add-ins are running. So, like, normally I would say things like, oh, you know, clear your data cache and restart, you know, reinstall the instance, you know, have people go through stuff like that. If you guys want to go through that, that's awesome. I would say shortcut it to pop open your add-in manager for that profile, disable everything but the open methods add-ins, and see if you still have the same problem. If you don't, obviously our add-in is conflicting with one of the existing add-ins. Probably the one that we run across most often that we just know you're going to have some kind of squirrely issues with is the default CTI simulator. Everybody familiar with that?
That's exactly the one.
That's the one.
If you've got that installed, I can all but guarantee you. Now, sometimes I've got one site where they're running together, they're coexisting, no problem at all. One, and that's it. Every other one I've ever run across, you'll get different errors on every instance. They just don't like each other. So what I would say with the CTI simulator, either separate them out onto profiles if you need to run both of them. You know, have a PopFlow profile you can log into and show that thing off. Use your CTI simulator wherever you need, or by the end of training, hopefully, and you guys hold me to this, hopefully by the end of the training you'll be using PopFlow as a CTI simulator or that, right? And they both, in this regard, we can set them up to both kind of do the same thing. So by the time you guys get through training, you'll be able to make the decision. You can do whatever you like to with. Did that not work for anyone? Is there anyone still getting that same error, or just need some more time to play with it and see?
I'm now to where I can go to step 8.
Okay. All right, same thing, guys. As we resolve these issues, feel free to bail or stick around, whatever you like. I don't mind folks staying around to heckle, but not
all right,
required.
so Mike, now that we're past that error, how do I know whether I got it right?
You just want to launch PopFlow Studio, and you want to look for the ribbon in PopFlow Studio will have all of the buttons. Specifically, look for import, export. If you've got those buttons, you're good to go.
All right, you got to go back a step.
Yeah.
Launch PopFlow Studio.
Add the component to your nav set, Dave.
Got it.
Okay, yep, that's right. Once you get through the license part, you want to add it to your nav set. Now, adding it to your nav set, guys, obviously you can add it to your default navigation. Like if you've got an administrator navigation set you want to add the icon to, that's great. If you just want to, you know, you can always just do your settings wheel, but it's going to be under components, add-ins. You'll find it here.
Got it. So
and if we say, yeah, if we see the full, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons.
If you have an import or export buttons, you're good to go.
Beautiful.
Yep, it will literally look like that. If you got all of these buttons right here, delete, import, export, new, delete, import, export. What will happen? Anybody that can launch PopFlow will see save, workflows, and mapping. But if you've got access to the designer, you'll also see these workflow buttons, new, delete, import, export.
Did you send, are the workflows themselves are in step 8 of the zip file? Because I'm not seeing them there.
Yes, no, they're not. In the normal installation package, in the normal installation bundle, those would be included, but I didn't want you guys to cheat, so I pulled them out. We're going to start by building those things instead of importing. Now, if you were doing this type of installation into a customer environment, which you'll be able to do, you'll have the actual installation bundle, and they'll have a base set of interaction workflows that you can use to test and make sure that PopFlow is working properly. But I didn't want to give you that much yet. We want to go through some of that manually in training.
So if we're getting that screen to import them, we're all good to go then.
You got it. If you got an import button, you're done.
Awesome. Thank you.
So that's what we want to see. Not that I don't trust you guys. Don't get me wrong. I just don't trust you guys. Nobody's going to bite that one. Let's see.
So,
all right.
This is Johnny. I'm getting an error when I try to launch PopFlow. I've got this unable to locate PopFlow runtime service error.
All right. That's that licensing error, right?
Yeah.
Calls out the license. Yep. This guy right here.
Exactly.
That one. All right.
That's the one.
Did any of the other crew get in?
Both Ryan and I got
both did.
What? Say again?
Both of us got an okay, but both Ryan and I. So we're good. So it's just Johnny.
Well, do we really need to worry about Johnny then?
I'm not.
I'm not going to worry about Johnny. Johnny, you're in your own, pal.
I mean, I'm sure Johnny would be just as happy to come to Kansas City and just eat barbecue. So.
Yeah, you know what? What am I thinking? We don't want to make it that easy on him. Let me fix him up. Johnny, let me look at. Let me think. Because if you're getting that license, it's got to be your user account, your staff account. So let me make sure first and foremost that I didn't just fat finger your.
You did not. Let me double check his staff account.
I mean, as long as Johnny's assigned to the same staff account that you've enabled PopFlow on, working for you guys, that he should be good. Where did
I don't see anything. I'm looking at his login is the same as what you've got in the license.
Okay.
Johnnny Meehan. Johnnny Meehan. Yep. It's the same.
Does he have the same profile that has the add-ins added to it?
He is in the same profile as both of the other.
That's a good check. Good double check. All right. Interesting. Johnny, have you restarted Service Cloud, sir?
I have a couple times, most recently about 30 seconds ago.
Okay. Still same issue.
Same issue.
All right, guys, we're going to have to try that again then.
All right, so here's the one thing I will call out. We do have developer access turned on for that profile. Do you have anything in your right now dev folder, Johnny, some add-in that you're developing or have developed that might be conflicting?
Nice catch.
Interesting notion. I don't think so, but I'll give it a shot here.
Johnny, the only thing that makes me nervous about that, sir, is that you could have a very old PopFlow add-in back from, you know I'm referring to, way back when, right?
Yes. Yep, I'm with you.
Man, it'd have to be pretty old, but could be there. Could do.
What would happen if you changed? What would happen if you changed that profile name, or that account name in Service Cloud, and then you created a brand new account with his user ID? Would that still work?
That would still work. That's absolutely right. Now, if you change the profile name, no impact at all.
I'm sorry,
right?
if you changed the account name.
Yep, you could take a staff account that's licensed and you could assign it to different profiles all day long, right? It's tied to the actual login ID, not the staff account or the profile. So I can actually delete the staff account, come back 3 months later and create a staff account with that same ID, and it will work like a charm.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right.
So it's tied to the staff account name, the login ID, basically.
That's right, the login ID. Username, right? So let me think through that too, see if I catch anything else. We know that it's not profile specific. We know that it's not license specific. We know that it's not the specific add-in because all of that would bomb out the other guys as well. Developer access. Sometimes the staff accounts will do weird things. I mean, I have before deleted a staff account, just recreated it with the same info, and it worked, but I don't think that's the issue here. I would also look, Johnny, at what version of .NET you're running to see if there's some issue there. That's kind of, I'm grasping at straws now, but I would imagine you being a developer, you're on a fairly recent version of .NET, right?
I am. Actually, we're in. It was something, probably the aforementioned add-in in my developer folder.
Sir, I can tell you the names haven't changed, so if there was some in there, that probably was it. And they won't, and they know Worky with the new stuff. So, so we'll call it dev mode add-in. Good catch.
There we go. There's an extra rack of ribs for Dave.
He can have an extra serving of Oklahoma Joe's, actually, which is now KC Joe's, but it's worth it. It's a good payoff. All right, so all of the Aventus crew then is good to go?
We're squared away.
Yes, sir.
Deal. So you guys feel free to bolt if you want, hang if you don't.
All right, Mike. We'll see you next week.
We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, who, excuse me, who is left? Who is still having issues? Or who is just not ready yet?
Hey, Mike, this is Rupal. Yeah, so I think we got, Ryan is also on the call from my team. We got everything else working. I guess we got everything else done except we need license, which I'm not sure.
You need the license? Okay, perfect. So if you didn't catch it before, let me show you one more time. If you will send me an email with the name of your interface and the user IDs you want me to license, I'll gen one out for you real quick. And that's the interface that shows up here, whatever, and it is case sensitive, so whatever shows up in the interface, and then whatever usernames you want me to license for PopFlow. You'll send me those two things. I'll get a license generated for you. Stat.
Okay.
And who else? Anybody else?
It'll be me and Ryan from my team.
Okay, and that's okay. You guys just hang tight. We'll get you squared away. Sherry, it looked like. Sorry.
I had to drop off for another meeting, so I'll be sending email, but he might be able to confirm if it worked or not.
That's all right, Ryan. You gonna be able to stick with me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. No problems, Rupal. You fire it over. You've got my address, right?
Yep, I'm sending it to you.
We'll make sure it's ready. And then who else? Is anybody else on that we've missed or just isn't ready? All right, good deal.
Hey, Mike, we're showing Steve Gahan, Ryan,
Gahan's with me.
She's leaving.
Rupal's taking off. Ryan's with Rupal. Oh, and John Pams.
And John Pams. Yep.
John, how are you doing?
I was talking on mute. I'm still trying to log into my console. Having some laptop and console issues today.
Okay, what's going on with it? What's it doing?
My console is literally just hanging there. So I got the same error as I recalled earlier with the load exception or
loader
whatever the hell it
exception
was.
error. Okay.
So I just killed out the instance on my machine, reinstalling it, and it's just taking forever.
Taking forever? Okay.
For it to load back up, but I'm still on 6. You sent me the license file last night, so
okay.
I'm probably getting the rest done.
Let me ask you a question, John, to that end. After you uninstalled the, did you actually uninstall the instance?
Mm-hmm.
And after you uninstalled it, did you delete the instance directory out of the roaming profile?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just checking, you know, always go for the basics first if it's easy. On the other thing, if you might have caught it, that's kind of standard operating procedure going through some of this stuff is usually when I'm troubleshooting, and we'll get into this in more detail next week, but usually when I'm troubleshooting, I'll try to determine if it's something that's user specific, profile specific, or you know the routine, right? Kind of going through some of those steps. If there is another machine or something like that you try to log into and see if you get the same issue, that's great. If not, I would go through some of those same basics, like checking the, you said you already checked the profile, and that's good to go. I would also check the .NET, the version of .NET and developer mode access, just like the guys went through. It's kind of standard operating procedure. Make sure that you don't have, that you're not loading some kind of add-in through developer mode. Just let me know. Yell out when you get the instance back installed, and we'll give it another shot. John, by the way, do you have another login for that instance that you can try? Something that doesn't have the add-ins loaded?
That I don't know. I mean, I can get access to any sort of login for the site, but
okay.
I don't know what profiles associated with what add-ins.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. Just yell out whenever you get the instance set up. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a little multitasking. I'm going to do a license, but yell out. Feel free to yell out as soon as you have it done. Let's see. And Ryan, I'm going to be working on you now.
All right.
Got the info from Paul. So let me do this. Do it this way. Here we go.
Hey, Mike, this is Rupal. I'm going to drop off for my call, but Ryan's here. He'll be able to take care of it. Thank you very much.
No worries at all. No worries.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So long. And she gave me OPN dash info, so I'm gonna hedge my bet and say that's an underscore.
Oh yeah, for the interface.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the console I can see it.
And we're gonna do, just say underscore and underscore Ryan, right? Does that look right, Ryan? It's capital I, capital R.
Yes, that does look right.
Capital I, capital R on both of them. Okay. I'm proficient. Just as quickly as I erased it, typed it right back in. Okay. let's see here. All right, Ryan, that is coming at you.
All right.
All right. How you doing, John? That thing still hanging on you?
No, I'm getting the same error again. I'm going to try and do it one more time.
I'll tell you, if you, is it ever, when you try to log in the next time, does it give you an option to disable the add-ins?
It did the first time around, the second time, no.
Okay, you might, if you, instead of doing a send report or anything like that, if you just in task, go into your task manager and in the Service Cloud task, it should pop you up, give you the ability to disable it. But you probably know these things, man. If I'm giving you too much, just shout at me and I'll knock it down a notch. But I would probably the other thing that I would probably try to do is to delete and reinstall the add-ins, and just check that that profile doesn't have developer mode turned on.
Yep.
Right. In some order, I'll probably start with the developer mode and see if that's it. If it's not, then I'd probably delete and reinstall the add-ins. There's nobody else from you're the only one trying to get into that instance, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then Ryan, let me know if you need any help with that license file, getting it where it's supposed to go. And don't forget, once you finish pasting in the license file and save it, you'll need to restart your Service Cloud console for that to take effect.
I think I'm missing a step somewhere.
All right, talk to me.
On the PopFlow, yeah, I got the PopFlow license search report opening.
Okay.
It says use the default parameters for the search. It's sort of, I'm not entering anything into the ID box.
Yeah, just click the search button. When it gives you, it should give you a pop-up when you run that report, right? Here, let me show you real quick. When you run that report, where is it? It'll give you a pop-up like this, right? You just do search. Now double check and make sure it's not showing. It shouldn't be showing you anything here.
No, it's not showing anything.
Okay, so then you want to go new license.
Okay, so there's my problem. I might maybe need to restart my console. I don't have the option there, drop down.
Okay, if you don't, now what may happen before you do that, let's check something else, because if you don't have that new license, you may not, the profile that you're using may not have access to those custom objects. So if you go into the profile that you're using right now, like again, mine's OM demo agents, just verify that you've got full access to those custom objects. So you go to permissions, custom objects, and go down to the open methods package and make sure that, where is it, that all of these, for the interaction workflow and the license, all of those things are checked.
Okay, let me see.
And then there's another check in there that there's one other thing that'll cause that. And it's probably going to be one of those two things. So let me know once you've verified that you've got access to the custom object.
Yeah, it looks like I do have access to the object.
Okay, then then go back to the Interfaces window and look right here on the Workspaces Workflows tab, and make sure that what I would bet is that this license is not associated to the license, PopFlow license workspace, or the interaction workflow is not assigned to the interaction workflow workspace, one of those two. Specifically, this one is the one that I'm really concerned about. But while you're in there, might as well check for the interaction workflow too, make sure that it's set.
I have mine assigned to PopFlow license workspace. That can that be named anything?
Yeah, no, that this is an old system. It should say PopFlow license workspace.
Okay, so
it'll say something different than what I'm showing. And then make sure your interaction workflow is set also, right?
Interaction, okay.
Now that doesn't require restart. So if either of those were missing, you can just save and close the profile, and you should be able to go right back to that report and launch it without restarting.
Okay, yes, they're both set, so maybe she added those while as a console.
But if yeah, if Rupal was doing that, you may want to restart your console. It may not pick them up.
Okay, yeah, I do see the drop down.
And then what you want to do once you get that new license started, in the product name you want to do PopFlow like that, right? And then just paste that license text in there. Make sure you get all of the license.
All right,
all of the license paste in there. Save and close it. Okay, once you get that done, then you just need to restart your console one more time. Get out of there. John, how you doing, sir?
It's trying to load again.
Okay.
So if I'm logging in with different login credentials, am I going to have an issue?
No, shouldn't. Well, if they're not a part of that same profile, now if they're a part of that same profile, you might, right? And that's actually why I asked about other staff accounts you could use, right? Like, were you never able to get it to disable the add-in?
As of right now, not yet. I'm waiting for that pop-up tip here.
Yeah. What are you installing to there, John? Is it an OPN site? I don't remember.
Excuse me?
What interface are you installing to there? I don't recall. Was it it's an OPN instance, isn't it? Or is it a demo instance? Or
no, this is a demo.
Same thing. Demo, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized I said the same thing. OPN and demo. That's not real clear. Okay. So remind me what we have done. Let me get back and make sure. And Ryan, you just shout out, man. Try, give it a shot. If you think you got it or not, let me know.
I got the license. I had a couple more steps to finish that Rupal didn't get to. So yeah,
no worries. Just shout it out when you get done. Interrupt. So John, let me make sure that I'm going down the right road. And I know what you've done. So far you've tried to, you've obviously reinstalled the instance, right? Before you were getting that error, were you getting that error during the installation process? In other words, were you ever able to go back in and look at the profile and make sure that the profile was configured properly? Or have you not been able to get back to that? Okay.
No, I haven't been able to get into the systems at all today.
Okay. All right. And right now you're trying to log in with a different user ID or your user ID?
Just a different account.
Different account, okay. And do we know if that's part of the same profile or?
Not even sure.
Okay. And is the amount of time that it's taken to load the interface, is that normal?
Not necessarily. It just so happens to be with this specific one. It seems like, you know, I've had issues in the past trying to authenticate myself in there.
Okay. Okay. We'll take a look to yours. I would say take a look at your staff account. And if you want to, John, I can make you presenter so you can show us what you're doing if you like, or if you don't, I won't. Your call. Either way.
Let me see if I can log in here first.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, it's just I'm still getting that login succeeded prompt, but it's still loading.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no rush. We got time. This crew actually went pretty well. I think most of this would have been cured by better documentation.
Yeah, and you know, you were spot on, Hank, doing this in a webinar versus in the classroom setting.
Well, it's just, it's going to take a couple of hours to install it and troubleshoot everybody through when you got 15 or 20 people.
Yeah.
Time gets away fast.
I just think we'll make for a, considerably more productive first day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Ryan, give us a status update. How you doing?
I'm on step 8, and I'm looking for the demo interaction workflows. I'm trying to import them.
Perfect. Okay, tell me something. Do you have an import? So you got into PopFlow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got an import button?
Yes.
You're there. You have arrived. That's as far as you need to know, and you won't find the demo, the demo interaction workflows because I snuck them out of the package.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. I'm sure you've said this 9 times, but I've been working doing it. And
we got a whole crew of people we're back and forthing with. So no worries, man. But that's it. You're done. You're as far as you need to go, and you're set and ready to roll.
All right, awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
No worries. Bell if you like, hang if you don't.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll catch you next week, Ryan.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
All right. So John, what's it stalling on there? Is it just still trying to load the interface and waiting to throw
taking
the
forever.
error?
I'm literally like a third of the way through.
God, no kidding. So have you seen it try to load the